Welcome back to Bergisch land, and this is going to be a fairly short video because much like the Timberborn videos, I'm making some short videos while I am away dealing with some real life stuff to keep you guys entertained and engaged and the channel alive. So the first thing, I spoke about moving the cows, and I did in fact move the cows out into the pasture last time, and the food disappeared. I moved them into a bigger pasture. The same thing happened, and I think worth noting, this map, although it's only been released, or was only released in FS22 with Terralife, it's not built specifically for Terralife, and these pastures are quite small for cows that eat as much as Terralife / Maize Plus cows do. And basically, these pastures aren't big enough to support cows grazing with Terralife. I've left them in here, but I've had to put a bale of food in because if we basically they grazed and they took everything. So I brought a bale of, I can't remember, one of the types of silage over just to give them some food because I didn't want to move them again. So that was that. I worked that out after finishing recording. Yeah, the pastures are not big enough even for this small amount of cows, which possibly makes sense. So yeah, they're more aimed towards base game play, but let's crack on. So I've moved the bales out of the way, got a store point in front of me. Today we are going to be doing some sword lifting. We might not get it all done. As I said, this is going to be a relatively short video because I'm trying to essentially use the time that I would spend normally making one video to make a few videos, just to keep the engagement flowing. So we're going to release the mulcher and grassland subsoiler that come with Terralife. If you have played Maize Plus, you will be familiar with these implements. So the mulcher applies a mulched state to the grass. The grassland subsoiler removes the need ploughing state, which we go to the map. We have several pastures which are in that condition at the moment. So that's what we're going to be starting to tackle today. So we'll get ourselves on a heading with the old VCA. Yep, VCA. Yes, we'll end up mulching part of the field with this, but I'm not too worried. Yes, this is a slow process. The sword lifting is a slow process. Now, I've done this many times in game. I need to adjust some OBS settings quickly, so you won't have game sound at the moment. There we go. I've done this in game many times and rambled about it a little bit, but I don't really know a lot about it. So how do you learn about things? You ask ChatGPT. I know, not the best source of information in the world, but not necessarily the worst. And the first thing that I was kind of curious about is, and you know, probably some of us have watched Tom Pemberton do this, or other YouTube farmers are available. Some of you may have done this. Some of you are real farmers. If you are and you're watching me, I apologize. So yeah, the sward refers to the upper layer of soil covered in a dense, well-established grass and other small plants. It includes the grass blades, roots, and underlying soil, which forms a continuous living mat. So I guess to me, that kind of sounds like the bit that you would get when you buy turf. Maybe it goes a bit deeper, but it's kind of what it feels like. So, and that kind of makes, feels like maybe it's a bit deeper when you look at the implement we're using and when you look at versions of this implement. The other thing we need to do make sure, pretty sure I do have. Let's make sure we have stones turned off. We do. Because this acts as a plow, it will bring stones up. So you want to have stones turned off. So yeah, essentially it's yeah, it's like the top layer of the turf. And then I was kind of curious, apart from knowing that it improves soil health, and in our game it removes the need to ploughing state, and because of how my brain is, that's why I do this. And I did do some testing with Maze Plus, because this is a small implement, and because we're at the first grass growth state, and that's the same as the planted state. This might not apply for Terralife, so please don't take this as this is something you should do, because Terralife is completely different. But with Maze Plus, it was potentially quicker to use bigger implements and plough the field in. But Terralife, that might be different. Please don't quote me, because I'm not saying that that's what you should do with Terralife. With Terralife, there is every possibility that it is much better to do this, because you're leaving the established crop in the ground, and with so many more growth states and all that kind of thing, it's much more complex. And I've not done the testing. I'm not planning to do the testing, just playing the game. But in the real world, you get improved drainage, enhanced root growth. With the root growth, you're loosening the soil so that the roots can grow deeper, and I guess you're giving space for the roots to grow. Reduced soil compaction, one of the things that we sort of know about. Increased nutrient uptake, better grazing conditions. And this is ChatGPT by it, so in livestock farming, compacted fields can lead to poor quality grazing and hoof damage. Sward lifting maintains a softer, more even surface, reducing lameness. Okay, take your word for that, ChatGPT. I guess a compacted field is a hard field, so maybe increase yield and quality. Okay. And I guess we're going to get increased yield because we're removing the needs ploughing state. So, yes. But, interesting. Now, asking ChatGPT is not always the best way to learn about things, boys and girls. Or however you choose to identify. And if you're doing research, don't just use ChatGPT. Look, in the real world, use many sources of information. It's just so that I partly so I add something interesting to chat to you about, as I did that, partly because I was somewhat curious. Well, we've got weeds growing again. We need to have a look at that. That might be a video. We also need to do the liming on here. And what I might end up doing is, so this is, I'm gonna do this while I ramble to you in this video. We might then end up setting course play off on this to get this done in the background. As I said, so I think I've said, so I'm no point me. My dad is having spinal surgery done this week. I'm not sure where it will be in relation to when this video comes out, and going over to my parents and won't be making videos while I'm doing it. So I'm trying to get some amount of content lined up. I've recorded some Timberborn videos. I'm trying to do some farm sim videos as well, just to keep things going while I am busy. And my approach with the Timberborn videos was basically I made them about a third of the length, so that I could record 3 videos in the time it would take me to make one video. And with this video, I am going to basically play for about 20 minutes, is my plan. And ramble to you guys during that time. And then I'll probably try and do a couple of Salonka videos, because I've got a couple of easy Salonka videos queued up to do. I think probably what I'll need to do with this series, is this called crab stick? No. Is get some work done background to get some of these jobs done. So get the 2 fields that I need to get subsoiled, swad lifted. Or maybe we'll just save this one for when I'm back. We'll see. Yeah. It was really, I say interesting, slightly frustrating actually, that when I put those cows in the field to graze, I need to adjust the view distance on those interactive zone markers. I must remember to do that while I'm away. Actually, I can't, because I'm not taking this computer with me. But yeah, I watched it as the hour clicked by, and a pretty healthy crop of grass vanished, and there was no food in the trough. Clearly, they just ate it all. And so, yeah, gave them a bale of silage, and that gave them a decent amount of food. It might be, yeah, I think it's just that those pastures are so small. So what we might end up doing is, once all of the female cows are all pregnant, we could have the bulls grazing in a pasture each on their own. That might work. Might provide enough food for each, or one bull each. Yeah, we'll see. We'll work it out. We could always do some supplemental feeding if they are. Yeah, something like that. Something like that will work. As I said, the map was not designed with Terralife in mind. It just so happens that for FS22, it was only released as a Terralife Plus map. So. I don't kind of, what I'm trying to do to say is, don't judge that the map was poorly designed because you can't graze the cows in it. It's, yeah, it's just how it's worked out. It's just how it's worked out. Anyway, I'm so used to Alt-H and Modelisha's quick screenshot mod in FS25 now for grabbing a thumbnail, and that's not going to work in this one. But, I don't think I have an equivalent anyway, other than camera screenshotty mod thing. The description, wasn't it? I know. Yep. I've got I haven't actually had a chance to use it in anger yet, but because I haven't had a chance to particularly play on our Frontier multiplayer save much in the last few days, but picked up Ross N Mod's big JCB icon. I am really looking forwards to playing with that guy. Let's just quickly grab that. I know, such a professional. It's such a cool tractor. It's such a cool tractor. Lots of power. Cool options. Yeah. The only thing I wish is that it had some even wider wheel options. I think that would be kind of fun. Yeah, it would be kind of fun. But it does, and it always did. I think it's just the nature of the beast. It turns like an oil tank. Not complaining, because it goes so fast. It's so cool. Yeah. I'm looking forward to actually getting to make use of it while I'm away. But anyway. So, yeah. As I said, over the next few, probably week, maybe a bit longer, videos are going to be short. And then things will go back to normal. Let's just jump out and we can demonstrate then. So it needs ploughing. Doesn't need ploughing. Isn't it wonderful? And so with Maze Plus, you could get a quicker result by ploughing and replanting, because you could use, big implements and go quicker. With Terralife Plus, with all of the extra growth states and things, I'm not confident that's the case. But I'm not testing it, and I'm not saying you should do that. I think it's not really it's not in the spirit of the mod. It's just, kind of the testing that I used to do that used to make Paul upset, potentially. Because the idea is that we've got these cool tools and you use those because you wouldn't necessarily plough in your pasture and just replant. Although, saying that, farmers like Cow Farmer Dan, they will rotate their pastures and refresh them. So maybe it is a thing. But I mean, it kind of frustrates me with precision farming, and not necessarily precision farming, but just farm sim in general. But so often when you start a map, not sure if it's the case with 25 as much, but certainly with FS22 and FS19, every time you would start a save, half the map would be needs ploughing. And so frustrating. And precision farming, which we've had, we know is coming soon now, coming soon, but coming to FS25, and that's not a Freudian slip. It's not me leaking any information, where you all get super excited. But again, you'd always start the map and the fields would be in awful condition. And it was one of the things that I did in both variants. I think was videos on how to edit that, so when you started the map it wasn't in such bad condition. Not edit the map, edit precision farming, so that when you started a map it wasn't in such bad condition, because I always found that so annoying. That you'd load up a map and you'd have harvest ready fields and the pH would be horrific. That's what pH is. The nitrogen would all be horrific, and nitrogen's more tricky because you don't know which crops are going to be in the field, so it's hard to get a good balance. But you can at least set it so that then the minimum for good for the worst crop, and by worst I mean the one that has the lowest. But no, yeah, just frustrates me. We've got more done than I thought we were going to get done. As I said, yes, it's a short video. Yes, we haven't got much done. But it's what I need to do to keep some engagement going, keep feeding the algorithm. I know, now that's not really how it works, but it does help. And so it helps soothe my brain a little bit, because the analytics keep going. So, yep. So I hope you've found this video somewhat informative with our little bit of chat GPT information. I'm a little bit tempted to keep doing that with we can find some relevant facts for these videos, because Terralife and precision farming add in some interesting things, so maybe we can find out some facts and we can learn a bit about farming as we go. So we'll see, maybe we'll do that. But yeah, as I said, real life is interrupting things significantly at the moment, but I'll be back. Keep an eye on the community tab for updates, and I hope you have enjoyed the video. Thank you to the patrons and the YouTube channel members. Appreciate you guys supporting the channel. There are links for all of those down below. And I will see you guys next time. Between videos, I will get this field finished. We might have this running on courseplay next time in the background while we do some of the other jobs that we have to do. Such as polling. But anyway, I will catch you all next time.